before we get into it, so please hit the like, comment, subscribe. You know, so you will not miss any more content. Let's get into it. So I had somebody suggest to me, suggest a question: should 3v3, if the new Slipspace Engine, for Halo Infinite is amazing in terms of what they're trying to do with it, should they remake the older Halo games in the engine? Like, for me, it kind of depends. So, depending on which game, is in the conversation, 4 and 5, I don't think so. Those are too new. So, we're going to be focusing on the Bungie games. So, starting with Halo CE. So, here's the thing, I think most people agree that they kind of botched the art style of CE with Halo 1 Anniversary, for a couple of reasons, because, look at Chief's armor right here. And it's also because they actually they used assets from Halo 3 and Reach, which I get. I totally understand, because 3 was, pretty much entirely new at the time. Heck, they were still building the studio when they were making Halo 4 at the same time. That's not easy for them to do. So, when you look at it from that perspective, I give them a lot of credit for that, especially for, CE, they had outside help from Saber Interactive and Certain Affinity, because Certain Affinity did the maps for Reach. And here's another thing. They did not remake... They didn't use CE's original multiplayer. They just remade, a couple of CE maps for Reach. So if they were to, I would want them to cut this art style out, and go back to, the art style that Halo CE is known for. So if they were to do that, I kind of hope they actually stay faithful to CE's art style. So, for the sake of it, and plus it makes sense. So, especially now the series is not going to be 20 years old this year, which is, very exciting. So, next up, Halo 2. For me, Halo 2 doesn't really need as much, because I think they did a good job overall with Halo 2 Anniversary for the most part. But here's another thing, though. They did not address... There's two things I would like for them to do if they decide to do it again. Remake Halo 2 again, is address the whole legendary thing, because we all know it's very well notorious that Halo 2's legendary is painful to go through and complete, especially solo, man. It is, especially on Gravemind. So here's the first thing: if they were to remake Halo 2, is kind of address that, because of how hard it is. Not nerf it, I would say, kind of balance it more, if you get what I'm saying. So here's another thing too, actually, since with the campaign side of the way, for the multiplayer, I would like for them to remake more maps, because kind of remake all the maps, at least the ones from the base game. I'm not counting DLC, because that might be an issue, but I don't know. So, and plus that's a lot of work by itself. So I'll just remake more maps and all that. If they were to redo Halo 2 Anniversary in the Slipspace Engine. So that's out of the way. So next part. This is the one I feel really could use it, because Halo 3 never got a remake, as we already passed its 10th anniversary back in 2017. And next year is going to be the 15th anniversary of Halo 3. So if they were to do a Halo 3 anniversary, I think next year would be the perfect time to do it. But I don't think they will, because think about it, Halo Infinite's coming out this fall. So, probably November, probably. So at this point, so that would leave them less than a year to remake Halo 3 for this. So if they were to do it, yeah. So if there were a good time to do it, it would be for not a particular anniversary, just because it's next year. It's going to be 15 years old at this point, and some of the faces of the NPCs, well, they don't look the best. So if there were to be a remake of any from the Slipspace Engine, I think it would be this one. I think it would be the most deserving, just because it never got one, unlike Halo 1 and 2. So next up, Halo 3 ODST. I don't think that it would really need one, because it's barely 10 years old. Actually, it's still it's around the same time frame. I think it would be 14. Wait, no. I think no, 11 years. Yeah, 11 years, like 11 or 12 years. Yeah, 12 years in September. So do I think it would need it? I guess for the heck of it, since you're doing three, might as well do ODST as well, since they're both on the same engine pretty much. Heck, ODST like just uses mostly, a Halo 3's assets, like the assault rifle and the BR and all that. Oh, and if they were to bring the BR in, because originally it was gonna be, but it got cut. Energy sword, that's more debatable, since that Spartans and elites typically use those. So it would be cool if they kind of did for ODST, but I kind of don't think so. So if they were gonna do a remake of ODST, kind of actually make the BR officially support it, because like only in firefighting custom games you can use the battle rifle in ODST when it was brought to the Master Chief Collection when Firefight was. So if they were to make the BR kind of official in Halo 3 ODST sandbox, So next up, Halo Reach. I kind of don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs it, because even now that the game is 10 years old now, I don't think it really needs it. But maybe like at some point in the future, like way down the line, okay, maybe. But obviously address some of the flaws with Reach, because that game is what split the community. Even though it's still liked by the general gaming community, but it was the game that kind of split the community with the classic games and the modern games. So that's kind of like where I'm at with Reach. It kind of doesn't need it, like especially right now, because I think it still looks really good to this day. But down the line, maybe years and years later. Like I said, Halo 4 and 5 definitely don't need it, because those games are still very new, especially 5. 4 is not even 10 years old yet, so I don't think 4 needs it. And 5 especially doesn't, because that's the newest Halo game that we have gotten in terms of from a first-person shooter perspective. So, in conclusion, I do think there is an argument for especially 1, 2, and 3. ODST and Reach, not so much, because those two are still obviously the newest of from the Master Chief Collection. Especially 4 doesn't. That game still looks amazing to this day. So does Halo 5. So all in all, if I were to pick a game that should absolutely get at that it needs it the most, I think it would be Halo 3. It still looks good to this day. Don't get me wrong, but some of it has not aged well by today's standards. So conclusion, I think Halo 3 should get it the most, but it would be nice if they kind of redo Halo 1 Anniversary as well, just to kind of fix my problems with it. Even though I really like Halo Anniversary, I do think that that the art style of Halo C should be, actually respected, and that they actually, for this, proposed remake of Halo 1 again, they should actually do, the actual proper Halo 1 multiplayer, because they did not do that for the original release of Halo C Anniversary when it came out on the 360. So anyway, I guess that's it for this video. So please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.